Welcome to another wonderful episode of your favorite political talk show, the Roundtable. My name is Chairmen, and today we have another interesting outline for y'all. Three major topics like we do every Thursday by this time, and we have, as usual, two wonderful guests, same analysts that we had last weekend, but with a different energy and zeal to pursue today's topics. And what topics do we have on the table for you? But first, let me introduce them to you. To my right, this time around, is Daniel Oyan. He's always on the left, but he's on the right today.
You decided to change my location today.
You have the punch.
Yes, I'm proud of my organization, so beautiful. It's one of those things.
Wonderful.
That's what we do.
And to my left this time around, but it's usually on the right, I have Mr. Adekunle Aliu with his glasses, no tie today.
Always your right man. Viewers, thank you very much.
All right, it's great to have you hang with us, viewers. Let's quickly get into the show. How are we starting today? We are starting with the Oyan Dam and the flooding that we've been talking about for weeks. That this flooding is coming. This flooding is coming. It started from the north, but it has headed down south, and it's even close home now because states inclusive of Lagos and Ogun are now being affected. And it's not just that. Some persons are about to move their families out of their homes because of the effects of the flooding. I'll be starting with Mr. Daniel Oyan. I remember last year the Ogun State Governor was at this same Riverview Estate in the Sherry. The pictures are still online. I think I still have the link because I used to read about it every time, thinking, I hope in 2024 I won't do a story about it. That was why I kept that link. I still have that link posted on the pages of the governor's social media handles. I'm so sure, except it has been deleted, it is still there. And his exact words, because I held it daily, was that they are going to do things in ensuring that this year, the year 2024, there won't be a repeat. They are going to ensure that, it wasn't happening again. Soccer came to the people and all that. Pictures were taken on the Long Bridge. Pictures are taken in front of the Riverview Estate there, Isheri, and lots of promises. But I speak to you from our story today. A particular man has moved his family to a hotel in Bega. We are back.
It's of course, this is an evidence that we don't learn. If I would say I will also say the political class, our elites, political elites, those that govern us, they don't learn, and whatsoever things you see that we are experiencing now is an evidence of that. And aside from the fact that we don't learn, we don't want to affect some of these things. And of course, it's a display of the political system, the political talks. Every of these statements year in, year out is like you have a kind of a teleprompter or something that is reading this all over and over again. Whenever they say one thing, you see them still repeating this same thing all over and over again. This issue is something that this is not the first time we are experiencing something like this. There is supposed to be some kind of level of preparation that should have effected, and that's why I'm not always happy whenever we are talking about this issue. Because tell me, what was the resolution or whatsoever the solution that they have provided when this same issue occurred before? Now, last year. Just 1 year after, we are having the same thing. What were the things that were done by this same government that are coming on board to say this is what we want to do again? We will still come again to now say this is what we are going to do, and in 2025 we will come back to the same situation again. We are not learning, and there's no evidence that we are making changes. If a responsive government should say this is what we want to do, they should go after it, do it, and make sure that the people see the changes from what was initially happening. So from the situation now, it's clear that, of course, we are not ready to learn and we are not ready to make the changes. And don't also forget that there are funds that has been allocated to some of these things. We have the ecological funds and all that is supposed to be, but most of these funds you hear, they were diverted to other projects or other things. When we know that we have something in our hand. I was seeing a video yesterday online, and I saw a very big warehouse where they were selling something. I think clothes, and all the properties destroyed. The clothes that the owner of the shop was selling was submerged in water. You know, and I know this situation. That person had invested a lot in such a business, and we have this now. That is coming to the fact that economy-wise, we have been affected. This person is supposed to cater for one level of the family or the other. And this is one of the problems. And you see people going back to the same poverty again. So, in one way or the other, these things are linked. You have flooding, you say you are catering with the ecological fund for maybe another project, maybe road project and all that, and you have flooding that is still happening. You are not treating what you're supposed to treat. It will come back to the same people, to the people again.
All right. Mr. Liu, you know, I made mention of it some weeks ago. I just didn't mention the state and the governor. I said the particular governor was somewhere taking pictures and telling the residents that things were going to be put in place. He was going to look after them and all that. But this year, it has happened again. It's Ogun State. It's here. The pictures were everywhere, even on Long Bridge. It's a yearly occurrence.
No, it's a yearly occurrence. It's what we do every year for the past 10 years.
Coming back every night, for those that are coming back,
so there's traffic now.
The traffic is out of this world. Out of this world. Sometimes when you are going out, if you are not careful, it's something else.
No, I don't think we don't learn. We do learn.
Okay.
And we know we have issues, but again, we have to allocate resources that we have to what we want to do. So maybe sometimes allocating those ecological funds, the whole ecological fund being given to us cannot meet all our ecological problem. It won't solve all our ecological problem. But having said that, I think...
But there are things that we know have become a norm.
Yeah, it's a yearly norm. So as a yearly norm, okay, have the people also listen to the government saying don't build on floodplain areas. So some of these things is our collective problem. When people don't listen, people don't study things, then they become they begin to put the blame on government. Government will not come and tell you not to. Okay, look at the tanker fire that explode. It's the government that will tell you not to go and pack fuel. But you know that you'll be burnt when you do that.
Political office holders, go to give succor to residents.
So we have to give those succors because you refuse to listen.
We don't see anything come out of it.
For us here in Ogun State, if it's like 10, 15 years back, you will discover that this problem was there and nobody complained because population explosion was not here. People were not building at the Sherry there and so on. So you see, but now that people are building at the Sherry, now, what are the drainage costs provided? Is somebody blocking the drainages? So if we are doing that, we are doing causing problem for ourselves. So we should look at it critically. As much as we want to heap the blame on government, what is the blame also on us that are building? If you can build a 20 billion naira or 200 million naira factory along this road here and it's been submerged, then it tells that you didn't do your proper work while you're building, because you should know that it's a floodplain area. When the water is released from dam for some years, it's been passing through that area and it's going to affect your industry. So it's your own fault, it's not the government's fault. So when such thing happens, we now bring succor just to like, okay, let's assist you. But know for the fact that if you don't check these things before building, it's going to be a problem. And that's bring me again to our surveyors and all our builders and our engineers. Let's be truthful in what we're doing. Let's tell people that, look, this place you're building, these are the things you are going to be exposed to in times to come. But when you don't tell people and everybody's just building, when the situation comes, we all now begin to blame government. Sometimes I think we should weigh this effectively so that we can know what we're doing. But having said that, know that natural disasters do happen. These things are natural. The volume of water will be more. They will release from Cameroon, they will release from Adamawa, they will release from Brunei, like that. And all those that will flow down, coupled with our own rain heavily, coming down, so we would experience this. Even I saw in Canada, how a big city in Canada that is submerged with water, with all their plants.
That's where I'm going. Even in the West, it's not yearly occurrence.
I agree with you that it's not a yearly occurrence. But again, we should know that water finds its level. So have you built on the water plane? If you have built on the water plane, it's your cry. So while you are building on the water plane, you now tell yourself, which technology would I use? You can build if you have the massive money, like those who are building in the Atlantic City. You know they are spending serious money. It's on water. And it's serious money to do that. You have to look at all the factors responsible. Not just come and just put blocks and foundation and raise it. You raise it up, water will raise it down for you one day if you're not careful.
All right. Lagos is affected. Lekki Gardens is affected. Some places in the airport area is equally affected. Airport estates, beg your pardon, not airport area is affected. Queen's Garden is affected. So, and these are not areas. This is not downtown Lagos. This is uptown Lagos. I mean, these are places where the big boys live. So it's not a small boys thing alone. If it's a small boys thing, you feel it's the masses that are affected. Even people that are supposed to be members of the bourgeoisie are equally affected. So it's a Nigerian thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a Nigerian thing. It cuts across all religions, of course.
All areas.
All sectors,
states,
all tribes. Everybody.
All the states.
It's everywhere now. And now it's the turn of the
Lagos
coming to
and Ogun State.
Coming to Ogun State. Now it's everywhere. It's not just up north that we were screaming about some weeks ago. Now it has come and it has come. Now my question is this. What is the sincere solution? No, we don't want photo hubs this year. Honestly, there's no need for photo hubs this year at all. It's time for active measures to be put in place. And what are these measures?
Thank you very much. Let me start with the fact where he kind of mentioned that people should not build in water area, a flooded area, where you know that there's going to be flood. Well, I would say that, you see, this is not about people building one place or the other. It is a place and function of the government to specify where people will build. Now, when you now have people who are adamant and they go ahead to build in this area before they build those houses to completion, it is the place of the monitoring team to stop them. I have gone to rural areas and seen houses that were marked that you cannot build here again. But come to find out that at the end of the day, even after the marking, the building will still be completed. What happened? Something changed hands. Somebody has passed something and somebody has passed something. And they, at the end of the day, they complete these houses. But you ask yourself that question. Why were these houses that were initially marked given the go-ahead to now build? Because it was marked for something, and at the end of the day, they said, okay, go ahead and build. So these are the areas. So something is happening somewhere, and this always, again, comes to the government. I'm so specific about the government because the government makes, at least, has that position to determine a whole lot. In fact, they determine, after God, they determine our lives. Because, yes, they practically determine it because they will have to make a lot of whatever decisions about us and all that, what we are going to do about even living and dead, you have begin to collect certificates because you are born and all that. Now, what am I saying is that whichever houses is going to be built, the government has the plan. And that is why they are collecting the, what's it called, building plan. You go through that process and all that. And they have to now measure up to say, okay, those that are doing this is the rules. Don't do this. That is one thing. Then the other aspect is the fact that the solution that has to be provided is that the government has to ensure that they put everything in place. If persons are having homes in this area now that have not been, put in measures to curtail further crisis like we have now. Something should be done. And it's not something that will be done. It's not a long-term plan, because by next year we have the same problem again. And if they need to evacuate the people that are living within these areas, they should put all the things necessary in place to do that. Yes, we will need resources, of course. We should put the resources. The resources is within their disposal. It's not in my disposal. It's in their disposal. If you need to tell these persons, okay, you need to get another home. If there's any support you need to, like you said, that they need to put in place, they should put it in place so that the necessary movement will be done. But all this should be focused towards ensuring that we don't have such issue again in our hands. If this is the area that this water is passing, allow the water to pass. Let the persons go to wherever they need to be, so that such things. And I remember some time ago I was speaking to one of the commissioners in Lagos, where he mentioned that they have announced earlier before for people to vacate a particular location, evacuate people from a particular location and all that. And then my question is that, was there any provision for where they are going? If the government, previous government, failed to stop them from building there, and now they have house there, then this current government, whichever government that is there now, has to make provision to ensure that these people, they evacuate, and they evacuate to a secured location where it will be okay for and conducive for them. So these are my goals and this is my position.
All right. It's sad. I just hope it doesn't just become regular rhetoric where we have to come here again and again. Another journalist have to keep writing stories and the situation remains the same. One we expect that if some of these governors sometimes don't remember some of these things, that's the reason why they have aides. That's why some persons are being paid. As an aide, as an SA, yours is to note that so things under your jurisdiction is properly taken care of.
Why you say that, I also want you to look at our scientists, our engineers, and so on. Which solution do they have for us?
Yeah, that's the job of the government.
Sometimes we say government. Now hold on. People have built houses in this area. They live there. They experience this, so they know the channels that has been blocked. Yeah. They know the houses that has been built on waterways. So why not call those people to out that look, this particular house is on the waterway. This particular person is building on this thing and it's wrong. So if you don't call them out sometimes, you are the government. We are the government. We are the one to report these cases.
Have been marked.
Yeah.
So somehow they don't get
then the engineers, natural engineers, the professors, the lecturers who are in this field, by now, I expect that, okay, maybe one university is doing a research to say, okay, this is the outcome of our research on this.
The government must will engage them to do that. They can't just wait
what I'm saying is, no. When you say government, who is the government, please? May I ask?
The government is the one in the position of authority.
No, the people are the government.
No, I disagree. The reason why I disagree is this present dispensation.
I'll shock you with the research.
People, I will tell you that as far as Nigeria is concerned, the people are not the government.
The people
I will tell you why.
I think the people are
the ones
the people
that
are meant to.
The people are the government. It's the people that takes their right
into their hand. But what we have now
representing us, and because they are. What I don't want us to agree with is that government will not educate you, will not teach you how to break the law, will not teach you how to. It is you.
They will teach you how to maintain the law, how to obey the law.
So who is breaking the law? Is it the government or the people?
If you break the law, you are disciplined.
Who breaks the law? Is it the government or the people?
Note, my political science teacher will say we are not one. I mean, we are supposed to be the government. The people are supposed to be in the government. But if you see adverts from governors or senators or something, you hear on behalf of the government and people of so state and wishing so.
So it's on behalf of the
government. They have separated the government
and the people.
No, it's on behalf. Who's the government? The government is the people.
Yes, it's supposed to be on behalf of the government.
So it's the perspective. It's the way we see it. We've aligned ourselves. See, we have taken ourselves away from government and look at government as another machinery of government. These are just machinery of government. They are the one running. They are our representative. We call the shot. But we don't hold the shot. We don't hold the shot. Because we do a lot of wrong things.
According to
not everybody.
We do a lot of wrong things. We put our priorities wrong.
According to Ginger Crozio, Thomas Hobbes, and what's the name of these others called?
Thomas Hobbes,
Ginger Crozio, and I forgot the name. We submit our powers to the government, and then we have given them the powers to lead. But unfortunately, sometimes it's not the case. Now, Korea has saying it's time for us to move to the next topic, and it's another very, very interesting situation here. Now, on July the 11th, 2024, the federal government won at the Supreme Court. And what was the victory about? It was about local government autonomy, where the Supreme Court ruled that monies for local government should no longer pass through the state governors. That means each local government, 774 local governments in Nigeria, should be getting their cash direct from the federal purse. That did not go well with many state governors. In fact, some governors spoke out immediately. And then, as I speak to you, a particular governor in Nigeria is leading the charge against that, saying that the state should have access to funds of the local government. I'm talking about the Anambra state government, Professor Charles Soludo. And the matter is really becoming interesting. Now, some state governors are working with local government chairmen and the authorities at the local government level to ensure that they can bypass this law that is going to come into being very soon, because the agreement between federal government and the states was about 3 months, and that was in July. So by the end of October, payments will no longer be made to states for the local government. Rather, each local government is going to be earning directly from the federal purse. I'll be starting with Daniel this time because you are one of those who did that story. They have gone as far as blood oaths for local government chairmen. So that's why I said I'm going to be starting with you. What is really going on? Take us into this, please.
Yes, you see the battle for this local government autonomy has been will I call it age-long battle. It has been front and back, and yes, the good one that the Supreme Court was able to declare, and fine, let me just say a good one for the Attorney General of the Federation to have taken the matter to the Supreme Court. And then, yeah, we have it that the Supreme Court declared that, yes, local governments should begin to receive their fund directly as from the end of October. Now, it's a good one, but the reality remains that, of course, each state, from what we have seen, some states have started the procedures to ensure that, yes, this fund will have a way. I was here listening to the governor of Adamawa State in one of the interviews, Finteri, where he mentioned that it's not a bad idea for them to have a kind of an account, a joint kind of account where all these funds, all the local governments will agree to, when the funds gets to the local government, they put the money there, and the next thing is for them to, from there, do whatever projects, joint projects. So it's not a bad idea for them to have joint projects. Yes, and for me, I think the court's ruling is the court ruling. And the good thing is that the governor said, all the governors, even through the governors forum, have said that they are okay with the declaration of the ruling of the Supreme Court. But when you have situations again where the Supreme Court will rule, but there are some lacuna within such ruling, then you begin to have situations as we are having now. The Supreme Court ruling is that the local government would have their fund directly. The Supreme Court did not decide or rule how the local government is going to expend the fund. The Supreme Court did not say that the local government chairman cannot bring their money together to spend for any joint project within the state. So this is another matter, because I tried and I sat down very well to look at these issues and see what is actually going on. So the Supreme Court ruling was that, okay, you will not have JAC, you will not go through the process of JAC, joint accounts from the state and all that. But if the state now decide, the state governor has a kind of a way of influencing. In fact, from the level of election, you know that most of these states, the ruling party was the one that look at Rivers that is having crisis. That is not even, yes, APP. Why did APP won? Because the state governor made that decision that the local governments will be filled by his own people. So that is what we have. So that is the situation we have. And they can influence. So if they have decided, from what we have in Oyo State of recent, we had even the state chairmen themselves decided to withdraw from Ogun, Association of Local Government Employers of Nigeria. And they are lawyer. So it's an evidence that they are lawyer. So and that will happen.
Now 12 states, after the Supreme Court ruling, 12 states have conducted local government election. In 3 months, quickly, 12 states have conducted local government election. I don't know if they will have thought about it if the ruling was not there. But anyway, 12 states have complied. And you know, they want the money coming. One wonders if it's for the love of the people or if it's for other reasons. It was fast in 3 months.
They have to comply with the Supreme Court's injunction. So
that's what I'm saying.
You don't blame them. But having said that,
the fact that they didn't have local governments in place before, they probably had caretaker committee members and all that, you know, which was wrong even without anything.
Remember here I told you, it's not about the local government or that, it's about sincerity of who is ruling or who wants to work for the people. Now, if these governors are good at their doing, you don't need any local government chairman to do what you're doing. You can do all the projects from your state governor and your aides and everybody, you're on ground running the work and doing everything perfect. For me, I think he's on come and eat for the boys.
So that is it.
That's it for me. Because when you now have a local government chairman...
Our report here is saying they've gone as far as, some governors are going as far as blood oaths.
Let me ask you a question. If you are a governor and you see that the local government chairman is getting free fund to upset you, would you sit down and watch?
The
So
money
these are the
to
things.
upset them is to work
That's exactly.
to bring the money closer
So,
to the people, the real people.
If the local government chairman can work well with his little fund
Yes.
in his local government, you know he can upset the governor.
The government should be happy that somebody's working so that
in
everybody can work.
Also, as it's go to this left, so he can go to the right, can go the other way. The man can also come and just embezzle the money and not use it to work because he's at liberty to do whatever he wants to do
Then that's when
with
the
the
governor
money.
should come in
So
and write,
now,
the FCC that I know he uses some amount. I can't see the worth of that
So
amount.
what the government, I think what
Soludo
Soludo is complaining about is that, look, no caveat. You are giving these guys free room to earn this money and use it the way they like.
the same way the federal government is giving him free room to own the money. They are all equal.
So agreed about that, but again, this is a state, and in a state, you just wouldn't want somebody to be running riot with money.
That is it. It's becoming totalitarianism.
I agree with you that it's a totalitarian kind of style, but again, you won't be a governor and let somebody under you run riot.
I think there
democracy.
are two concerns from the governor's angle that I have also pointed
That's
out.
Governor Soludo.
Yes, I know it's not
That's
even
only-
specific.
that's
All
only
the
Lilo,
governors
all the
put
governors.
together.
That is
I
why
think
you see them
one of the
doing the
concerns is
election
that,
they are doing.
Most of these states, they have collected loans even before this, and they have their mind focused on those local government funds to offset some of these loans, and that's the truth. And they will tell you that some of these projects of the state are done in one local government or the other.
They are in charge of the
But
state.
again, let's not forget the fact that there is also concern that these local government chairmen will not mismanage the fund. But I always say, you will not tell the states, you will not tell the federal government how to utilize this fund. At the same time, you will not tell the state how to utilize this fund.
So why
At the
they
same
tell
time,
the
you will not tell the
local
local government not to utilize
No,
this
but we have to tell the local government.
I'm coming.
We will have to tell the local government. No.
Why did you elect
We
the
will have
chairman?
to tell the local government how to use this fund.
Why did you elect the chairman?
Because it will not use the fund against us or out of us.
Why did
It
you
must use it
elect
in
the
tandem with the
chairman? You
See,
elected the chairman
if
out
you
of
give-
confidence.
The government-
Before now, what is the case that led to this issue? You will discover that before now.
Chairmen were
No,
elected
before now.
on another day.
Before
They were
now.
not voted in with
Why
the
do
governor.
we have caretaker rather than why haven't we be having local government chairman all through and we
See,
just
Because our governors have decided to go against.
no,
the
because some of the
constitution.
local government chairmen have decided to be corruptful and do
That's
things
what I'm
wrong.
saying.
So if you
Governors
go
are
there,
corrupt.
so
Governors are corrupt
you
as
say
well.
governors are corrupt, you've not been able to label them or catch one. But having said that, let's look
No,
at it.
if no,
See,
I'm sorry,
this-
I'll have to come in now.
this might
if
take-
a governor is saying local government, they are not his boys. You know, we have videos.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a particular
But
governor
having said
who
that-
are local government chairman prostrating for him. They are elected members
of the
as
society.
well.
Agreed that they are elected members of the society, but having said that, you won't leave them riot. Leaving them independent
Is
to
the,
do that.
president, is the president monitoring what the governors are doing? Is he holding? Is the president holding them to anything?
The president is not holding them to anything.
So why are they
Agreed.
holding somebody?
But they have to hold somebody because in this case, you are under me.
Do you agree that they have to be held by the governors? Local government chairmen have to be held
Because that fund
The
is
president
much.
not holding them. Their state.
One reality. See, there's a reality that we are just not touching that fact that if the local governments, you call them a government, and they were elected,
Yes.
they were not appointed.
Agreed.
Who are they accountable to? Are they accountable to the government, to the state governor, or the people?
They are accountable to the people, to the state government, to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and to the constitution of this country. So they are accountable to the people. They are accountable
I
to.
disagree.
They are not. See,
I
this is-
disagree totally.
Okay, let me
If
throw one
in a
question at you.
normal time,
It was a normal
Let me
time.
throw one question at you now. Now he's saying that the president is in charge of his government of the country. State governor, Kukoluku states, they have a governor, but in Kukoluku state they have 10 local government chairmen.
Yeah.
That the chairmen are under the governor.
They are under the
Is
governor.
it true that the chairmen are under the governor?
They are
Is that what the
not.
constitution says?
they are not. That is why we said we have 3 tiers of government:
Exactly.
Agreed.
federal, state, and local government.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Is it not the government that you say is too bloated? You say it's expensive. We say we are spending more money. So why are you wasting money to have a
why do you have the EFCC? Why do you
So
have the ICPC?
Sorry.
And another agency that can check
the
these
Nigerian
things.
constitution, the Nigerian 1999
Stipulate-
constitution as amended.
Yes, I agree for 3 tiers of
Exactly.
government. But having said that, is it not the same government that was saying it's too bloated?
No, it's a different.
It's not different. You're still going to spend money.
You're talking about
you're still going to pay this chairman. This chairman are going to have councillors. These councillors are going to have aides.
But they have an allocation from the federal.
That is what
I'm saying. They have an
I'm not against you or against it. I'm only saying.
But when you are bloating,
we are still doing the wrong thing as a nation. No, see, we can fix all this problem without the local government chairman.
That we should not have a local government.
We don't need them.
No, but that means we have to alter the constitution.
So, if we have the local government chairman to operate with, then maybe okay, the others of my town should also have legal backing. They should have authority. Because if you want to give a local government chairman this authority that we have given them, so they should give the others. The other people should have an authority to say yes. It should be a leader, and money should be voted to his account to do what, to develop his empire.
It was an anomaly.
So you see what I'm saying? It's from the beginning. It's an error from beginning that I say it was wrong. But again, having said that, the conscience they made this mistake and they want to continue with it. But let's do it with checks and balances.
All right, quickly before we move on, my players say we should move on to the last topic. But are you saying that the anomaly that has been corrected by this government in this regard should be left uncorrected by moving on into another anomaly?
No. The thing is that the governors they are speaking their mind that look, these things can go wrong. You don't blame Soludo for saying that. Other governors are not complying. The one that is complying, the one in River that is complying, is also doing it erroneously. And you see that there's more error coming because what all they are doing is just let's keep that fund coming. They are not doing it with sincerity. It's that this fund, and the moment the fund comes, those that have even elected their LG chairman, you discover that it's one particular party that is running all through, like Bedouin.
I believe
so
anyhow
you
the
see,
state government wants to.
Those people are now their stooges. That's going to work for them. The moment the money comes, you are not going to spend it the way you want.
I think
there's going to be a direction.
I think there should be a leverage. Okay, anyhow, the state governors wants to take this step within the next couple of months to see how they are able to impact their state. Then we should see what the elected chairman will do, because the EFCC and ICPC are also out there to check them if they do wrong, and that's just the reality.
For me, sincerity is just the thing. If we have people that are sincere, you can rule from anywhere. You don't need a local government chairman.
All right. What's interesting is that we operate a democracy in Nigeria. It's unfortunate that many times the local government chairmen across various states in Nigeria have been held bound by these governors. They see them as under them. They look at them more as appointees. That's why many times many of them are
caretaker committee.
It's not about the parties the governors are representing. Across board, many times, many of all these governors just put caretaker. In fact, it's more like the compensation position for many of these governors. Okay, don't worry. You are chairman here, you are chairman there. This is a federal system that we are operating according to the Nigerian 1999 Constitution as amended. So it was a big win for the AGF, Lateef Fagbemi, and this government when they won in July. And it was just expected that we do the right things. I mean, as Nigerians, as leaders, you know that, I know you want to take charge and put your voice there, but the same way you are responsible to the people, it's the same way the local government chairman is the closest man to, or the woman, man or woman, to the people in his own locality. Time is not a friend. We have to move on to the very last topic. And we are talking about the inflation. Inflation has been a norm. And now, in recent time, if you live in Nigeria, it goes high, it goes down, it goes high. Many times it goes higher. And I want to tell you that the increase in PMS price, in fuel price, has led to an increase in inflation rate. 32.7% is what we have as inflation. I'm starting with, I think I've started twice. The increase in PMS that happened, we've had a double increase
in just one month.
Twice. And overall, it's been over 400% since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came on board. Between now that he came on board and gave us the popular fuel subsidy, is gone. Now, inflation is a norm. Now we are on 32.7%. As a people, how are Nigerians living? How are we surviving?
A tough time don't last.
Tough times.
Tough people do. So for this tough time, we have to be tough on ourselves. We have to check everything. We have to watch what we're doing. We have to spend with circumspect. We have to be careful how we spend. It's no longer a riot of spending. Now, because it's the way to go. If you heard what the World Bank said of recent, that if we can keep this policy for the next 15 years, keep the policy for the next 15 years, things are going to be better. It's going to be, we are the one that will benefit. Take for instance now, we had of recent that Davido's father is going to what? Unveil his power generating plant. These are the processes. See, how do you want a private company to come and generate power if you don't increase the bill to meet the market price? So all we're doing is market price. So the market price is what is working for us. That is why we're going to where we're going to. And all I'm just begging that Nigerians should be patient. Nigerians should just watch and see how they can readjust themselves to everything. Because in the long run, we will be better off. We want to be a bigger nation. We want to have things perfect for us. But if it's not the market driven, if it's government subsidy driven, that free money cannot do anything for all of us. All the palliative they have been given, how many of us have gotten those palliatives?
Me, I have not gotten it.
So you see what I'm saying? It's only trickling out. You can't, the resources is not enough there. But when it's a free market, it's an open market, it's a private, it's market driven, it's market controlled. Then you begin to see people coming to invest and say, okay, I'll make my money, I'll invest. Take for instance the communication industries. Just let go. I believe it was so expensive. How many times, if I ask some people how much did you buy your first SIM card, some people bought for 30,000. Now it's like free for all, isn't it? So that's what we're looking at when you're doing a market-oriented economy.
All right. Last year, September 2023, inflation was at a rate of 26%. 1 year after, we are on 32.7%. We are rising faster than flood. Inflation is moving. The way it is moving, if we go at this rate, that means next year, we were 26 point something last year. We are 32 something this year. Next year, is that not going to be close to 50? If not more? The good days that the government is planning for. Are we sure that it's this same Nigeria that are alive now that will see those good days? Or are they planning those good days for some other set of Nigerians?
Well, like I always said, we have not, we have experienced over and over again a situation whereby yesterday has always been better than today. And when you speak with anybody, they will tell you that the funds, the money, the cost of living and everything will still get more than this. So somebody will still tell you that, yes, you are buying fuel at so amount now. It will still be more than that. So, well, for me, I have also been able to look at the issue critically, and I also agree that the current government is trying to put everything in place to stabilize the economy. But again, it's not as, it's hard or tough on people, and everybody is finding it difficult one way or the other. If the measures that are being put in place is to ensure that we have a better economy. I remember speaking to somebody and they said that if we had this kind of tough time 5 years, 6 years or 10 years ago, would have been a bit better. We can't see the future. We don't know what is really happening for the future. And right now, we don't know what is happening within even the economy. We don't know who is stealing what, who is making what, who is stealing what money and all that. And they said removing subsidy. Some people were stealing subsidy and all that. But I believe strongly that this is a growing economy. You can't just remove subsidy the way it was done. And as the economy is, you can't make people feel so tight with it the way what we are having now and expect a lot of things to move smoothly. Yes, you remove subsidy. Yes, we did some certain policies. But again, there are some certain things that needs to be subsidized that you have to subsidize. If not, you are making life harder by the day for people. No job. The universities chunk out large number of graduates every year. Scary number. If you hear from one institution to the other, scary number every year. These persons are pushed into the labor market, the same labor market that there is no work, there's no job. The same labor market has no, you tell people to go and learn skills. You have people learning tailoring, millions of people learning tailoring, barbing, whatever, and you see some of these jobs, some of these skills they become flooded. By the end of the day, because by the time you have in one street, you're having 20 tailors, 30 tailors. You know, how many clothes do you want? That is just the problem. Upcoming artists, there, of course, more than the people that want to listen to it. The barber, you have 20 in one street. How many people do they want to, barb? So the skills is also becoming saturated by the day. You heard recently they said they want to be teaching at the primary school level now. They'll be teaching skills, welding, and all those things. They are not looking at the fact that some of these skills will also be saturated as the time goes on. You have because the issue is that once some of these skills become saturated, the fact that there is no job, you will not have skills that will be lucrative again. Well, I remember some years ago, it was up to a point that you have situation where people will just they will be sleeping in their shops. And at the end of the day, they will have to pay for shop rent. They will be sleeping away and nothing to do because the job has been saturated. Somebody said, if your job is saturated, you can bring up a new techniques and begin to... Very important.
Food inflation moved from 30% to 37%.
That's
climbing 7 whole percent.
It's very painful when you talk about food inflation. That's where I cringe, because if with all these policies food is still cheap, it would have been very exciting to bear. So the food is not there. So it means we are not even producing enough to cater for ourselves. And we have to produce what we eat. We have to eat what we produce. We cannot live on importation. It's not possible to run out. Whatever policy that is good that we're doing, the moment we shift to importing food, we are doomed. We
were on 30% last year, September 2023. This year, September, 37%.
Yeah, we're not producing enough. We need
So what's the solution? Food. You know, food is the cheapest thing.
I've said it here before. I've said it here before.
In America, food.
I've said it here before. We need mechanized farming. I read a report before coming. I discovered that the government was calling for private investors to please begin to invest in farming.
When these people come.
So that's the thing. We need it in a large quantity. We need our security situation to be checked.
All right. My
problem everywhere.
My producers are asking. I can see Daniel still, the urge to. I wish talking could cure some of these problems. So it won't, but we still have to
make me laugh.
Anyway, a very big thank you to you guys out there for watching. Like I always say, without you, the viewers, they definitely would not be us on this side of this round table. Tomorrow, that's a holiday. No, the weekend begins tomorrow. There's no holiday. I beg your pardon. The weekend begins tomorrow. Stay out of trouble, guys. God bless you. See you next week by the special grace of God.
Don't be weakened by the weekend.